Texas A&M San Antonio and Southside communities held a press conference to talk about a master plan that will cause a big transformation to our campus.
A&M San Antonio hosted a whole week to those who have served our country. We will tell you more about these events.
The Director of Community Events in San Antonio is here to talk to us more about the 5K race supporting the American Heart Association. Stick with us to find all the details on these topics. Hello and welcome to Enlace. I am David Rojas.
And I'm Amanda Barela. Today we'll cover the latest stories happening on campus and around San Antonio.
We look forward to bringing you the latest. This week, A&M San Antonio and Southside communities presented a development plan coming in the future. Armando Villarreal was there to gather all the information on the transformation coming to our campus.
Have you seen the land surrounding Texas A&M University-San Antonio? You might notice seeing trees, fencing, and cows, but that will soon be a thing of the past. Southstar Communities, a New Braunfels-based company, announced the upcoming development of Vida San Antonio, a master planned community adjacent to the university. A&M San Antonio will soon welcome residential, retail space, and a coffee shop.
We think the impact is immeasurable. The housing, the retail, restaurants, the things that are not here right now where people they work here but they have to go in other areas for some of the services. So we see Vida as the catalytic next step for this entire area's economic prosperity.
The official announcement was made at the university on November 8th with elected officials, Southstar representatives, and A&M San Antonio administration.
Well, this is an exciting day. You saw this. It is really important for our university to continue to grow and to leverage the collaborations that are going to be happening around us. This is a long time coming. We had hoped for this years ago, but it's really an opportune time because the university, as you well know, is taking flight. As I said jokingly while you were sleeping, we were building a university.
Southstar bought nearly 600 acres to build a community that will boost more than 5,700 residential units. The announcement came a day after the San Antonio City Council reassigned the tax increment reinvestment zone from the previous owner's Verano Land Group.
It is high time that we have more housing, great quality housing stock in this area, and we're getting it here. I think it's a great opportunity for us to plan it the correct way.
Vida will be Southstar's second community in San Antonio and sixth active development in Texas. Vida is expected to break ground next year on April 2020 and to have move-in ready homes by early 2021. I'm Armando Villarreal, Enlace.
A&M San Antonio hosted over 10 events this month honoring our veterans. On behalf of the Univision Media Lab, we would like to take this opportunity to thank the men and women of the armed forces. We are grateful and respect all that you have done for our country. The U.S. Military Veterans Parade Association celebrated its 29th anniversary on November 9th. Texas A&M San Antonio Military Affairs Organization and Patriots Casa participated with their own float, showing support and gratitude for the United States Armed Forces. Open and free to the public, the event was a chance for civilians to socialize with veterans and their families. Starting on Avenue E to Houston Street and ending at Milan Park, the parade hosted a festival at the end of its route. The festival included a diverse set of activities such as a wreath presentation, ROTC competitions, along with entertainment. Arts and crafts, vendors, food trucks, and face painting were all part of the celebration.
Texas A&M San Antonio University celebrated Veterans Day by raising the flags behind Patriots Casa. Veterans and their families, along with faculty, staff, and students, attended to join the Veterans Day and Military Family Month festivities.
It's wonderful to come out and reflect together with our ROTC students in the raising of the flag.
Veterans that attended displayed their personal moments in honor of their time served in the military.
This was done for me by a friend of mine. We went to school together. He claimed that after I left the Army that I was a little bit emotional, physical, and a whole bunch of other problems. So he made this to let me know that just because I was all messed up inside, that I couldn't fly like an eagle.
On Monday, the Department of Military Affairs hosted a Veterans Day lunch with a special appearance of a bald eagle from SeaWorld San Antonio. Students and faculty had a chance to take photos with the North American bald eagle named Star. While most bald eagles, like Star, are rare and kept in captivity, the exception is if experts feel they have a serious injury that prevents them from going back into the wild. Linda Winsen-Miller, who works closely with Star at SeaWorld, tells us more.
So the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service determined that she was non-releasable. She needed a place to go, and they asked if we could take her, and we were honored. We were thrilled. And she's been with us about 5 years now, and at SeaWorld, her job is to be an ambassador. So not only do we do appearances in the park, greeting guests, taking photos, but she will also travel to children's hospitals, to schools, anywhere we can bring her to teach people about conservation and about birds and about eagles in general.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Another milestone in honor of celebrating veterans, the university signed a statement of support that complies with the Uniformed Service Employment and Reemployment Rights Act. President Mattson and Associate Professor Melissa Joswiak provided the signatures through which A&M San Antonio promises to fulfill the rights of the federal statute that protects servicemen and veterans' civilian employment rights. This document also requires employers to allow veterans to go back to their civilian jobs after their military services. Carol Hill, Area Chair of Employer Support of the Guards and Reserves, led the conversation by explaining the history and importance of ESGR statement signing.
And so we found it to be an important part of the establishment of A&M San Antonio, along with the facility here at Patriots Casa, that we represent and embody what it means to be a military-embracing community in Military City, USA.
We were delighted to be able to come out today, and so that the president and the deans of each of the colleges have signed this document saying we will take care of our faculty and staff members.
The signed statement will be displayed at A&M San Antonio for employees and veterans to see that A&M remains a military-embracing campus, not only for our students but for our faculty. Texas A&M San Antonio Military Guard and Reserves faculty members can feel confident that campus supporters, their service have job security when called upon duty.
In past editions of Enlace, we have talked about ways to manage stress during the school year. This time, Gabriela Medina brings us some insights on how yoga can be a way for students to maintain balance.
Ever considered yoga? Experts suggest it is about more than just stretching, as studies show its meditative properties can improve anxiety, stress, and overall physical well-being. Yoga instructor Nadia Padron says her life before yoga was full of stress, unhappiness, and toxicity. But thanks to the ancient practice, she was able to find her inner peace.
I found a community in yoga. Teachers that were training with me are still good friends to me now, and I meet a lot of people who are interested in yoga, and just brings everyone together and teaching everyone that yoga is unity. Yoga means unity, and makes me feel a lot more happier.
Want to give it a shot? A&M San Antonio offers free yoga Mondays and Wednesdays at 4 p.m. and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. If you want to know more about meditation, join Yoga Mind on JagSync. This is Gabriela Medina reporting for Enlace.
Y cuando regresemos, los homenajes a Tony Parker y más en una nueva edición de Jaguar Sports.
This week, the Epilepsy Foundation Central and Disability Support Services hosted a workshop at the university. Students, faculty, and staff got to learn about epilepsy seizure recognition and what steps to take if someone around you is having a seizure. Some of those steps include staying calm and tracking time, removing or directing away from hazards, speaking calmly, avoid grabbing the victim, and checking for an epilepsy or seizure disorder ID.
Follow us on Instagram to see what happens behind the camera, on Facebook to like and share your stories and ours, and Twitter to stay up to date. To watch this and past shows, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Univision Media Lab.
Saturday morning, A&M San Antonio hosted the 2019 Heart and Stroke Walk for a second year in a row. The American Heart Association sponsored the event to educate the community about heart health. Hundreds of volunteers gathered at the university to participate in a variety of activities that are meant to educate people and provide tips when a loved one is affected by these serious health conditions. These activities led up to a 5-kilometer walk for those unable to participate in the following 5-kilometer race. This year, the walk was able to raise over $800,000 and is looking forward to continue with this annual event. Now we go to Amanda for an interview on nutrition and heart health.
Today we have a very special guest today and here in our studios, Sarah Muhammad Ali. She is a Community Impact Director for the American Heart Association here in San Antonio. Thank you so much for being here today, Sarah.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Let's jump into this. We have a whole spread here. So I read that 6 donuts are equivalent to a 20-ounce soda.
Yeah, and a 20-ounce soda has more than 3 times a normal person's intake of sugar. So
it's pretty scary when you start looking at all of those facts. So can you give us some healthy alternatives to those sugary foods?
Yeah, definitely. For soda, you know, we always want that carbonated beverage, that feeling, that sensation,
bubbly feeling.
That bubbly feeling, exactly. So if you want that, go for a diet option instead. They're less in sugar. Some of them have no sugar. Or go with a sparkling water, a sparkling flavored water. Those that have no sugar, you're not going to fill up on all those empty calories in a sense as well.
Right. So now if you're having just that urge that you just want something sweet, you know, it just overcomes you, like I want something sweet, what would be a great alternative for that?
So for example, ice cream. Say you really want an ice cream, especially a chocolate ice cream. I always recommend individuals put a banana in their freezer. Once it's completely frozen, take it out, put it in the food processor, put about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of just unsweetened cocoa powder, blend that all up, and there you go. You've got a nice chocolate ice cream for you that's healthy and naturally sweetened.
Awesome. So for our fruit, we want to eat from our 5 color groups, very colorful, make sure that our fruits are in season. What are your suggestions on that?
Definitely, you know, you want to buy fruit that's in season because it's cheaper. So it's going to make it easier for you to eat healthier. You know, go for your apples during the winter time, oranges too. Try to stay away from maybe strawberries and watermelon because they're not going to be so sweet and they're not really in season. But at the same time, you want to look at the fruit that you're buying. You don't want to buy really oversized fruits because then you're going to get more than just that 1 serving size. So you're not really watching how much you're eating. So for instance, an apple, you want to make sure that it's no more than the size of your fist or about the size of a baseball. When it comes to bananas, you want to go for like a smaller banana, about 6 inches long. I always tell individuals, you know, we have a whole handout telling you about how long or how small a fruit or vegetable should be. Go to the store, get yourself a ruler from the school supply section, walk around, measure it out. So that way you know you're buying stuff that's relatively a serving size.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all of this amazing information and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Alejandro with sports.
Buenas, los saluda Alejandro Díaz y bienvenidos a Jaguar Sports, con lo mejor del deporte en esta semana. Y arrancamos con la mejor acción de la Liga MX que este fin de semana vivió su jornada 18. En el estadio Luis Pirata Fuente, el Veracruz recibió a las Águilas del América que le pasaron por encima a los Tiburones y los golearon por 5-0. El América abrió el marcador por medio de Bruno Valadez al minuto 18 y 4 minutos más tarde amplió la ventaja a través de Nicolás Castillo. Las Águilas siguieron volando alto y aumentaron su ventaja con un triplete de Henry Martín, que se reportó con sendos goles a los minutos 28, 54 y 80 para cerrar el marcador. En otro juego, las Chivas de Guadalajara consiguieron su segundo triunfo consecutivo luego de derrotar al Querétaro por 3-2. Eso sí, no sin antes sufrir un poco, ya que luego de tener el partido controlado con un 3-0 contundente, el Querétaro logró marcar 2 goles en el tiempo de descuento que le puso picante al final del encuentro. Para las Chivas marcaron Alexis Vega al minuto 23, Javier Eduardo López al 36 y Alan Pulido cerró la cuenta para el rebaño sagrado al minuto 41. Pasamos ahora al triunfo del superlíder, el Santos Laguna, que derrotó en su estadio al Cruz Azul por 3-1. Gerardo Arteaga y Brian Lozano anotaron para el Santos en una ráfaga de 2 minutos que dejó sobre la lona al equipo cementero, faltando 15 minutos para el primer tiempo. Ya en la parte complementaria, el Cruz Azul descontó por medio de Igor Lichnowsky al minuto 57 y Octavio Rivero concretó la victoria para el Santos al minuto 87, que lo mantiene en la parte más alta de la tabla. Pasamos la página para hablar del francés Tony Parker, y es que con motivo del retiro de su número por parte de los Spurs, la relojería Tissot organizó un evento en Dillard's del North Star Mall para que los fans pudieran compartir un momento con el base francés que hizo que el número 9 se volviera emblemático en la historia de la franquicia de San Antonio, y así celebrar la carrera de uno de los jugadores más queridos por parte de la afición. Parker además habló de lo que esperaba de la ceremonia del lunes.
Well, for me, this one's going to be very different. You know, I was lucky enough to be at the David Robinson one, and Bruce Bowen, Timmy, Manu. It's always easier to talk about somebody else, but to talk about yourself and in front of your family and friends. You know, obviously, I'm going to be very emotional and be very nostalgic, and it's just going to be a very different night for me.
El evento también tuvo una sección de Q&A donde varios fans tuvieron la oportunidad de hacerle todo tipo de preguntas al jugador francés e interactuar con él. Y bueno, siguiendo con Tony Parker, ya en la ceremonia que se llevó a cabo el lunes, el francés contó con la presencia de varias leyendas de los San Antonio Spurs. En el preámbulo, el juego entre los Spurs y los Grizzlies de Memphis, varios de los ex compañeros de Parker se tomaron turnos con el micrófono para rendirle homenaje a quien fue su base estrella y con quien alcanzaron 4 títulos de la NBA. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili y su coach, Greg Popovich, estuvieron presentes para celebrar la carrera del astro francés. Bueno, esto ha sido todo por hoy, pero nos vemos la próxima semana con más de Jaguar Sports.
Oye, se nos fue uno de los magníficos 3, Alejandro.
Así
bueno,
es.
Ya los 3 se
Ya
fueron.
Los 3 retirados.
Ya retirados.
Y en los rafters del AT&T Center.
Qué padre que tuviste la oportunidad de hablar con Tony Parker.
Sí.
Una experiencia, me imagino, muy grande.
Sí, la verdad estuvo muy bien. Él nos atendió primero a todos los medios de comunicación y luego compartió con los hinchas en una sección VIP, y luego ya más tarde estuvo presente ya con todos los fans que esperaron por horas. Hubo gente que esperó hasta 18 horas para ver a su héroe de los Spurs.
No, y un héroe para mí también, porque desde chiquito yo me acuerdo verlo que se metía entre todos los jugadores y hacía una alley-oop. Bueno, pues muchas gracias, Alejandro, por esta información. Now, when we come back, we will have you the latest movies and entertainment news with A la Carta. Thank you for sticking with us, and we'll present you more news. Many neighborhoods in San Antonio see a large number of stray cats roaming the city. Cats that are not spayed or neutered can have at least 95 kittens in their lifetime. The Feral Cat Coalition in San Antonio is attempting to fix the overpopulation crisis by advocating TNR, or trap, neuter, and return. This organization holds classes to teach residents how to safely trap feral cats with the intention to get them spayed and neutered and return them.
It's really exciting that we have trained so many people on this program, over 8,000 now, and that the city and surrounding cities support the program.
This must be held in humane traps and can be taken to a number of low-cost or free clinics around the city. You can find dates and times for these classes on the group's website at sanantonioferalcats.org.
November is National Inspirational Role Models Month. This week, we've asked people who they believe their role models are. This is what they told us.
My role model would be my grandma because she always helps people, and I hope that one day if someone in my pathway needs help, I can help them too.
The big one is always Bruce Lee, man. First, Bruce Lee, not just for martial arts, but because he was a good philosopher, a thinker, trying to make you a better person. And I guess his attitude toward work and also his attitude toward excellence. That's what really pushes me.
So my role model would be my father because he came from Zacatecas, Mexico. And he only went up to, I think, the 4th grade. And he did not complete any other schooling after that. And at the age of 14, he crossed the border and he came over here. And that was really inspirational because he's such a young age. He already was thinking about like what he wanted to do in his future, even though it didn't involve education. And he came here with, zero money, zero education, and he was still able to encourage his daughters, such as me, like to continue college, strive for a higher education. And I think that's just admirable. Like there's not a day I don't see him working either outside in the yard or at his actual job.
Selena Quintanilla because she broke boundaries and I feel like she really pushed forward for like Tejanos to like be seen. Like people know her everywhere, and I just love that. And another one of my role models is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's a congresswoman. She's in the Bronx, and I just feel like I see a lot of myself in her. Never really been done before, like what she's doing, and I really love it.
So my role model would probably be just the military. Both my parents were Marines, so I grew up around a lot of strong military people. I was always on base with my mom and dad, so just a lot of people in general.
My role model would have to really be my mom, just because we've been through a lot, especially through this past year, and she's just really been this rock for not only me, but I know my sisters and my entire family, and she's honestly what keeps me going to just have faith in that things will get better. So.
Great answers from our faculty and staff and students that told us who was their role model. Amanda, who's your role model?
I would have to say my role model would be my grandmother, who just recently passed away, and my mother. They have instilled amazing characteristics into me, and my number one goal is to fulfill all of their aspirations for me. And for you, who is yours?
It's going to sound typical, but I would have to say my mom. After all she has done for me and my sister, she has fought a lot. And as being a single mother, I mean, I just admire how her hard work, and I wish to, in the future, to be as hardworking as her.
I always love hearing who people's role models are. Here is Christy to tell us more on what they expect at the movies this weekend and to present the latest in entertainment news.
Hola taquilleros, bienvenidos a otra edición de A la Carta, donde hablamos sobre el mundo del entretenimiento. Comenzamos.
Good morning, angels. Good morning, Charlie.
Esta semana se estrena la nueva película de Charlie's Angels, escrita y dirigida por Elizabeth Banks y ahora protagonizada por Kristen Stewart, Naomi Scott y Ella Balinska. Dos espías tendrán que proteger a una joven experta en ingeniería de sistemas, pero el producto que puede ayudar a la industria de energía puede llegar a convertirse en un arma. Esta película es clasificada PG-13.
I will put you in the driver's seat at Le Mans. You just shut your mouth and let me do my thing.
Basada en una historia real, Matt Damon le da vida a un diseñador de autos llamado Carroll Shelby que busca la ayuda de Ken Miles, interpretado por Christian Bale, para construir un carro el cual le pueda ganar una carrera en contra de un Ferrari. Esta película es clasificada PG-13. Esta semana se estrenó el tráiler del programa de Selena en Netflix. Se confirma que la actriz Christian Serrato será quien representará a la reina del Tex-Mex. Selena, la serie se estrena el próximo año. Aunque la serie basada en los libros y videojuegos The Witcher todavía no se estrena, la productora Lauren Schmidt anunció en las redes sociales que ya dieron luz verde a la segunda temporada. The Witcher se estrena el 20 de diciembre. A tan solo un día después de que se lanzara Disney Plus, Netflix anunció que firmó un contrato con Nickelodeon para juntos crear caricaturas y programas originales para el público infantil. Este contrato será vigente para los próximos años. Díganos qué opinan de esta competencia de las plataformas. Déjenos sus comentarios y síganos en nuestras redes sociales en @210 taquillando. Hasta la próxima.
Guys, a lot of great news on the entertainment news site. Well,
there's so much coming out.
Netflix is joining Nickelodeon now that all these streaming services are fighting. What do y'all think about that?
You know, I'm not biased. Like, I don't pick either side. I'm excited to watch, and I just want to see everything that's coming out.
Well, thank you so much for sticking with us. We'll see you next week on another emission of Enlace.
Bye, guys. Take care.